Moving on, after Arjikor, another case in Bengal that has put the spotlight on the state of medical facilities and the manner in which it is run. The maternal deaths in Bengal and Karnataka in the last 1 month that are linked, where, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that the company that supplied the expired saline in Medinipur in Bengal was the same company that was linked to the deaths in Karnataka. The company, Paschim Banga Pharmaceuticals, that is under scanner. How was the company even allowed to operate is the big question. Let me first cut across to Kishale, joining us from the Bangla newsroom to take us through the details of what we know so far about those expiry salines. Has the hospital taken any action? And how is anger now mounting over what has happened?
Well, this shocking news coming from West Bengal. A woman has died because she was administered with expired IV fluid which became toxic. Now, Republic Bangla has been raising this issue of misuse and usage of toxic and expired IVs. Republic Bangla has been doing that since 2023. We have been the first channel to expose and show the world that these expired IV fluids were used in Medinipur Medical College, in Durgapur. We have shown our reporter Tushar, our reporter Shudipto, our reporter Roman, all of them multiple times since 2023 exposed to the world that how these expired IV fluids were used and patients were becoming sick. Now one person has died, and finally Mamta Banerjee has now taken note of the whole matter, and the West Bengal Health Department is now starting to act. Now Health Secretary Naran Swarup Nigam said that it's a serious issue, that expired IV fluid was used, and he has said that we will take appropriate action. But we asked him, sir, where were you when Republic Bangla was reporting on this issue since last 2 years? Every month we were showing this particular problem, this grave issue to the whole state and to the whole country. Apart from that, also right now we are getting to know that the company which was supplying this fluid was already blacklisted. It was red flagged, and still then these IV fluids were supplied from this company to government hospitals. Who will answer for the death of a woman who just delivered a child? The child is now kept in the hospital as well because the child is also sick. So a grave question about a woman dying and three other women in critical condition is being raised by the people of West Bengal. But Republic Network and Republic Bangla has been exposing this malpractice in front of the whole world since last 2 years. But finally the Chief Minister and the Health Minister, Mamta Banerjee, is now paying attention to the matter after a death has happened in West Bengal.
Extremely unfortunate, Kishore, that it costs a life, only after which our ministers wake up to the reality and think of taking action. Do stay on. I believe Smita is also joining us from the Kannada newsroom to take us through details of what is the story coming out of Karnataka on the same issue. But before we go across to her, continue telling our viewers details of whether the company that was producing this IV was at fault, or even the IV dates that were mentioned on the saline that was given to these patients. There was an expiry date, but it is the doctors and the nurses who were at fault, their negligence that caused this life.
Well, there has been a SIT, there has been a team formed by the West Bengal government. They're investigating the matter. But clearly, this particular company and the saline and the IV fluid that was supplied by them had problems, because we have been reporting about patients falling sick after being administered with IV fluid since 2023. And most of these IV fluids have been coming from this company, Paschim Banga Pharmaceuticals. That company has been supplying these IV fluids. Now the question is, 7th of this month, already this company was red flagged and the government decided to ban it on 7th of this month. The red flag was put. But today, is 14th. Today is, in fact, since 7 days, there has been constant supply of IV fluids from this company in spite of the fact that this company was red flag. Today is 13th, and since 7 days, this company has been supplying these IV fluids to medical colleges, government medical colleges, in spite of the fact that this company was red flagged by the government itself. So it's an irony. It's a complete failure on the part of the health department and on the part of the government, clearly because of the fact that the government itself red flags the company on 7th of this month, and the government hospital are getting these supplies from the same company in spite of that particular red flag in place. Apart from that, also there is a question how expired IV fluids and packages of IV fluids were administered, in fact, to patients in government hospitals and patients who were in fact in serious conditions, and patients who were delivering children, delivering kids. So therefore, there was a complete mismanagement on the part of the government, on the part of the health department, on the part of the hospitals, and on the part of the company that is in question. There has been a PIL filed in the High Court which is asking for a CBI inquiry into the whole matter. That case will be heard on Thursday, on coming Thursday, and we will get to know whether finally a CBI investigation will happen or not. But till that time, the state government has already formed a team which is investigating the matter. But we are asking the Chief Minister and the Health Minister, Mamata Banerjee, that where were you since last 2 years when Republic Bangla was constantly raising alarm about these IV fluids that was being supplied in your government hospitals? We were reporting about the patients who were falling ill. We were reporting about the patients who were showing certain symptoms after these IV fluids were administered in them since 2023. And this is 2025, and one death has happened, after which the government has finally woken up to the fact that these IV fluids needs to be banned and there has to be an investigation.
Oh yes, absolutely. And needless to tell our viewers, Kishale, how the Mamata government has been facing a lot of flack when it comes to the kind of conditions that prevail in hospitals vis-a-vis doctors, vis-a-vis patients, of the kind of system that runs in the government hospitals itself. Mamata Banerjee, who's Chief Minister of the state, who's also Health Minister, and handles all that happens. In fact, during RG-Kar, how so much was revealed with the kind of nexus that prevails, and fingers pointing at the Chief Minister herself to whether this was all engineered and who was the mastermind. However, as we try and get Smita from the Kannada newsroom to give us details of what is happening in Karnataka, we do know one thing, Kishale, that this is the same company that has been providing these faulty salines, and despite Republic having exposed the company, having put out the details of how there is a threat of lives, at least the Mamata government that paid no heed. Kishale.
Well, exactly. Our reporters on the ground, our reporters in several hospitals were raising this particular alarm about the usage of this toxic IV fluid that caused all kinds of symptoms in the patients, and now the state government has woken up. I'll give out some information to our audience. The disease name is Mamoni Ruidas, who succumbed to this particular IV fluid that was administered to her after she delivered her child. And a resident of Gorbeta in West Medinipur died on Friday, 2 days after delivering her child, after delivering a baby boy. Her family has alleged gross medical negligence, claiming that the Ringer's lactate or RL solution administered to her was past its expiry date, and after its expiry date, it became toxic, is what they are saying. But also, there is question about the existing RL or the IV fluid packets that are there in these hospitals. There has been teams sent by the health department to several hospitals who are checking on these packets of IV fluids and RLs. But question is, where were they since last 3 years when we were raising this issue? Now this deceased person, Mamoni Ruidash, her husband, his name is Debashish Ruidash. He filed a police complaint at the Kotwali police station accusing the hospital staff of negligence. But we also raised question about how the patients died in Karnataka due to the same IV fluids. Now, in every case, it is not possible that it is because the IV fluids were expired, the patients started dying. The IV fluids in them, the IV fluids itself had certain kind of toxicity is what the patients are alleging.
Right. Kishore, do stay on with us. I'm being told that Mr. Shukanta Majumdar is with us on the phone line. Mr. Majumdar, exactly what my colleague Kishore is pointing out has been happening in West Bengal. Republic Bangla has been raising this for 2 years now. But the Mamata government pays no heed until a life is lost.
Yes, the life is lost, and I think this is not an accident. It is rather a murder, because I think almost 2 years ago, this company, this Paschim Banga Pharmaceuticals, who supplied this saline, the fake saline, and expired saline to the hospitals of West Bengal, they have been, this company has been actually blacklisted by the Karnataka government for supplying this kind of medicines to their state also. So, but after that, the state of West Bengal, the machinery, the state government machinery, the health ministry, on which the Mamata Banerjee herself is sitting, they kept mum and they allow this company to supply this kind of medicine and other medical product to the poor people of West Bengal. So this is the type of administration Mamata Banerjee is running. They don't have any price for the life of the poor people, and all these things are happening due to this money earning mentality of the Trinamool Congress party, because during the Arjikar incident, it has come to the surface that all this supply order was given by either MSVP or any officers in virtue of taking money. Without taking money, they did not do anything.
Oh yes, absolutely. And like you rightly pointed out, that the state of affairs that has been highlighted, especially in this last 1 year, when it comes to the condition of doctors, the condition of patients, this banned company that was producing faulty salines was very well indicated. But the fact that they continue to do so in government hospitals in Bengal is something that the TMC government certainly must own up and take responsibility.
Yes, they have to take the responsibility, and the most important thing, we should remember that on the top of the department, that is the health ministry, Mamata Banerjee herself is sitting. So CM, honorable CM of the state, she should take the responsibility. Even Mamata Banerjee pointed out once that she had undergone one treatment in the #1 medical college of West Bengal, and according to herself, that the doctor treated her wrongly. And if that could happen to a CM, then, and CM is accepting that, and who is the health minister also, then what is the health status of the government of West Bengal in the state of West Bengal? That is the question. And without corruption, this kind of incident can happen. A big corruption is there in the health ministry. It is known as the North Bengal lobby. I think you must be heard about this North Bengal lobby during the Arjikar incident. And this North Bengal lobby is still now operating, especially in case of tender and all these things. And this health secretary, Mr. Nigam, is also responsible for that.
Right, Mr. Shukanta Majumdar, I want to thank you for speaking to Republic as we continue to stay on this story. Also wanting to go across to my colleague Nagendra Babu from Republic Kannada, who will give us details of how the story has been developing in Karnataka. Lives at stake over faulty salines being provided by this company?
सुएक्षा देखिए रिपब्लिक कनाडा लास्ट 6 मंथ से मतलब 6 महीने से कंटिन्यूअसली इसका बारे में बहुत सारा ग्राउंड रिपोर्ट रियलिटी चेक भी किया था। देखिए बल्लारी डिस्ट्रिक्ट में पहला इंसिडेंट हुआ था, उसके बाद रिपब्लिक कनाडा थ्रू आउट स्टेट एक रियलिटी चेक किया था। उसके समय में बहुत सारा लोग महिला लोगों ने मर चुका था। उसके बाद एक गवर्नमेंट को एक ऑफिसर्स ने एक लेटर दिया था। वो लेटर में पश्चिम बंगाल का एक कंपनी का फार्मा कंपनी का उन्होंने क्या औषधि दिया था उसके बारे में थोड़ा डाउट था। उसके लिए ब्लॉक लिस्ट में रखने के लिए एक लेटर रिपब्लिक कनाडा ने वो लेटर्स का एक्सक्लूसिव रिपोर्ट भी किया था। उसके बाद फिर भी एक डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर लोगों ने उसके बारे में ब्लॉक लिस्ट में लगाया था। वो ही औषधों को मेडिकल को लेके आके पूरा कर्नाटक का बहुत सारा डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल में उसको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया था। फिर भी वो यूज करने के लिए मना किया था। फिर भी थोड़ा लोग उसका सेम औषध को मतलब पश्चिम बंगाल का कंपनी फार्मा कंपनी का औषध को यूज किया था। उसका वजह से बहुत सारा लोग मर चुका था। उसके बाद हेल्थ मिनिस्टर को भी रिपब्लिक कनाडा क्वेश्चन किया था। रिपब्लिक कनाडा क्वेश्चन करने के बाद एक कमिटी रचन करके एक कमिटी पश्चिम बंगाल में वो एक फार्मा कंपनी को जाके उधर लैब में टेस्ट करके उसके बाद आके एक रिपोर्ट गवर्नमेंट को दिया था, कर्नाटक गवर्नमेंट को किया था। उसके बाद रिपब्लिक कनाडा एक रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क का टीम भी वही फार्मा कंपनी के पास जाके एक रियलिटी चेक भी किया था। उधर वही औषध में बहुत सारा डिफिकल्ट मतलब थोड़ा उसका वजह से ये लोग मर चुका है बोल के बहुत सारा फैमिली भी रिपब्लिक कनाडा के सामने आके कैमरा के सामने आके वो लोग एलिगेशन भी किया था। अभी देखिए पश्चिम बंगाल में भी अभी 3 डेथ हो चुका है। उसका बारे में एक पीएल भी एक हस्बैंड ने उधर पीएल फाइल किया था। उसके बारे में पश्चिम कोलकाता कोर्ट में अभी हियरिंग चल रहा है। अगर यही कंपनी का मेडिसिन का वजह से ये लोग मर चुका है बोल के ऑर्डर आ गया तो बहुत सारा नुकसान होगा। देखिए अभी पिछले हफ्ता भी कर्नाटक में एक 2-3 डेथ।
Right. Nagendra Babu and Kishale, I want to thank you for getting us all those details. Of course, we continue to stay on the top of this story until we have concrete answers from both the Bengal government and the Karnataka government.